Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. It's the one and only Zaria Shakira, and I am back again with another YouTube video.
It's that Z shit. It's that Z shit. Pull up in a demon on guard.
In today's video, as you can see from the title, I will be doing an unpopular opinions video today. And originally it was supposed to be an unpopular opinions about like a whole bunch of other stuff, but I feel like this particular topic deserves its own video. So today we will be discussing Megan Thee Stallion's album, Good News. Before we get started, I hope everyone's new year is going well and swell. Make sure if you are new, you are subscribed to my channel, and go ahead and press that notification bell so you'll be notified every time I post a video. And go ahead and like this video if you clicked it. But the reason why I wanted to do this video today is because there's been a lot of talk about Good News, the album. Not much talk, not from what I've seen, but we know about it. You know, we see what the numbers are doing. We see what it's doing in the charts. We get it. We see it. Good News, the album. Okay. I have a few things to say about it. The main thing will be the bulk of this video, but I just want to say this album is a good album to me, okay? And before I really get into it, I just want y'all to know that if y'all are here for the mess, y'all might as well go ahead to Zach channel or Zoe channel or one of them gossip channels, cause
This ain't that bitch, that ain't this.
period. I am not a gossip channel. I'm not here to gossip, but I will talk about this album because if y'all don't know, I'm a hottie, okay? I've been a hottie. So yeah, I do love Megan Thee Stallion. She's a bomb-ass rapper, and we're gonna tell it like it is. There has been some talk that this album was a flop. And to those people who think it's a flop, I'm sorry, sis, that you feel that way, but it's not, okay? And let me tell you guys why. First things first, if you listen to every song as an individual, each song is fire, okay? Regardless of what the song is about, who on it, you're gonna like the song. Each song, she's talking that shit, okay? She's definitely one of the best rappers you probably ever listened to, and that's just doubt on that. I really think the main thing that has thrown people off about her album is the album sequence. If you listen to this song from front to back for the first time, honestly, I'm not gonna lie, I was underwhelmed. I really was. Not to say that she's not a good rapper and her songs aren't good. I just was underwhelmed because of the sequence. And honestly, sequence is a very important part of releasing music, especially if it's your debut album, okay? So what I'm actually gonna do is just put up a side-by-side as I'm going through each of the songs of what she put in the order versus what I think should have been in the right order, okay? If that makes sense. Hopefully it does. If not, y'all will see what I mean. And then I'm gonna tell you why. So like I said, the sequence really does have a lot to do with the first listen of any project, honestly. And I'm not gonna lie, if I didn't mention already, I really do love the album, but on my playlist, I listen to it in my order. So by the end of this video, if you like my order, or if you just, you know, jot down my order and my sequence of the Good News album and like it, just let me know. That's all. Just let me know. There are some songs that will keep its same ranking, but a bit of the songs are kind of flipped around. So first on the Good News album, we have Shots Fired, and I think the first song should have been What's New. Now let's talk about it. Like I said, this video isn't meant to be messy, so I'm not gonna get too in detail about none of this that's going on. But let me just tell you why I think Shots Fired was not the best song to start off the album with, okay? So with everything that happened last year, she decides to put her diss track record first. Now, while that is a good diss track, I mean, you know, she said what she said. You know, a diss track is a diss track. You can't change what they said. It is what it is, okay? So we all know what happened last year, 2020. We all know the year as a whole was just a mess. It was some bullshit. So in the midst of everything happening, you know, there was a whole album put out about whatever happened with whatever. So in response to that, she did make a diss track. However, I don't feel that it should have went first, because first of all, it's a debut album. All right? We gonna listen to all the songs. So honestly, it didn't have to go first. It could have went later in the album, and we'll get to that when we get there. But I just don't think it was a smart move starting it off like that, because if you're gonna title your album Good News, and then you started off with a song about some bullshit. Like, come on now. It's kind of defeating the purpose of the good news. Like, I want to turn on good news and be like, the first song is a bop. You know what I'm saying? Something that I'm like, all right, fuck everything that's going on this year. We gonna listen to some good news first. Like, I just don't think it was a smart move. So the reason why I say what's new should have went first, because that's literally like the perfect opener to a freaking debut album. Let me just go ahead and play it real quick for y'all. I ain't on my speaker, but y'all can hear it. Like, Megan. Girl, the intro to this song alone was the intro to the album. She said, hey, look, better than your favorite bad bitch. Turn the whole world into a savage. Yeah. Middle finger in all my pictures. Just to remind y'all, I ain't having it. Bitch, if I was a rapper and I thought of that shit, I would put out a whole EP just to put that song first. And then the whole song as a whole was good. Like, I love this song. This is a bop. This could have been, maybe it could have been a single, but at the same time, maybe not. But then again, it could have. Only thing is the language. So, you know, but at the same time, they played WAP on the radio. So I don't really see what the problem would have been with this song. Anywho, this song, What's New, literally was the perfect opener that you could have had for a debut album. And the bag was fumbled. I don't know if she thought that people wasn't gonna listen to the album. I really hope that's not why she put Shots Fired first, so she can be like, you know, just listen to what the fuck I gotta say back. Like, sis, we wanted to hear it all, but we ain't want to start out with that. I didn't. Anyway, next on the Good News album, we have Circles, and what I think should have been the second song is Girls in the Hood. Now, what's the word I'm looking for? Now, arguably, Girls in the Hood could have been the first song. What's New would have been a perfect opener as well. Girls in the Hood also could have been a first song. And I just think that could have been the first song only if it wasn't already released as a single. Because nobody would have been expecting it. The sample, they'd have been like, oh my God, girl, like, what? Is this what we bringing to the table? You know, it just would have given a different, I don't know, it was just giving it a different oomph, you know? But it is what it is. Girls in the Hood was already released, so it's nothing you can really do. Again, the first lyrics, fuck being good, I'm a bad bitch. I'm sick of motherfuckers trying to tell me how to live, period. Like, perfect opener. So like I said, Circles was the second song on the actual album, and while I do like the song, I just didn't think it needed to be second. It was kind of like a, ooh, look at my sample, you know? It wasn't like a, I don't know, it felt very like, ooh, I got a sample type of vibe. That's what I was getting from it. I actually really do like the song. That's probably my top 5 out the album, not gonna lie. I do like Circles. I just don't think the placement was where it needed to be, especially following Shots Fired. Now, we love a Jasmine Sullivan sample, okay? We love Jasmine Sullivan, period. And she's finally getting the recognition she deserves. But I just don't think that song deserved to be number 2 at all. After Circles, we have Crybaby featuring DaBaby. And what I think should have been number 3 was Go Crazy featuring Big Sean and 2 Chainz. And let me tell you why. Now, I don't need no shade for this, but honestly, Crybaby wasn't my favorite. It's still not my favorite. And the fact that it's a single, like, I get it, but there could have been better singles. But I'm not gonna shade DaBaby because he from the foe, I'm from the foe. We rep the same foe. So, he can do what he want. It is what it is. Again, same thing with Circles. I just didn't feel like Crybaby was really necessary to be third on the album. But when you see DaBaby name, you know, niggas gonna listen to it. I'm just saying. Still don't think it should have been third, but you know, we'll get to that later on my list. So as for me making Go Crazy third, I just feel like it was still like that turn up, like I'm about to go crazy, okay? If we're listening to it in my order, you said what you said in What's New, you said what you said in Girls in the Hood. Now it's like, okay, y'all heard what I had to say, now I'm about to go crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like, it just flows a lot better like that. But hey. Next on the Good News album, we have Do It On The Tip featuring City Girls. And on my list, we have Do It On The Tip featuring the City Girls. Do It On The Tip fits at the beginning. It fits, especially with the way that I'm ordering these songs. Now, I don't need no hate comments, okay? I said what I said. And Asian Doll's verse should have been on the song, okay? The fifth song is Sugar Baby, and I also put that fifth on my list. I think it did flow with coming out of Do It on the Tip, if that makes sense. Like, it flowed, okay? Sugar Baby definitely was a bop. And like I mentioned earlier, I very much so was underwhelmed listening to this album until I got to Sugar Baby. I was like, oh, this the turn up I need. So yeah, listening to it off bat, mind you, I'm sorry if it sounds like shade, but I was in the shower, and you know when you in the shower and you listen to something, it's kind of gonna go like 2 or 3 times more harder. And I was really in there like, damn. Until we got to Sugar Baby. So yeah, Sugar Baby is definitely a bop. Fifth on the album is not a bad placement, and I really do think it fit number 5. Definitely. The sixth song on Good News album is Movie featuring Lil Durk. And the sixth song that I picked was Don't Stop. Now, I kind of want to mention this when we get to the end of her album. But all I'm going to say is Don't Stop did not deserve to be put where it was put, okay? At all. I love that song. It's definitely a bop. A music video was released for it. Why wasn't it in the top 10? I'm just saying. So back to the song Movie. I'm not a fan of it. I'm really not. Sorry. I was a fan of it. If y'all watch Zach Campbell's channel, he really did a very good explanation of the album, and I agreed with literally 99.98 things he said. There was one part I was just like, I don't agree, but most of what he said, I really did agree with it as far as the songs go. And I liked Movie up until Lil Durk was like, shake that booty. I was like, what? The song was fine, but why did that have to be the little catchy part at the end of the hook or whatever it's called? I didn't understand that. It just didn't fit. The song in general is decent. It's good. I like it. You know, it's a bop. Let me just say it's a bop. But I don't know. It just threw me off when it was like, shake that booty. Shake that booty. And honestly, if y'all watching this video, I really hope y'all listen to this album so y'all know what I'm talking about. But anyway, the seventh song on Good News album, we have Freaky Girls featuring SZA. And I also put that as my 7th song. So if we're looking at my order alone, as the songs are flowing together, you know, we got the bops, we got Sugar Baby or whatever. You know, we got to throw that Don't Stop in there because it's like, hey, turn up right quick before we hit you with this slow shit. Well, slower shit. And, you know, the singing stuff. So, yeah, I think Freaky Girls definitely fit number 7. Honestly, truly, I ain't gonna lie, I really didn't care for Freaky Girls when I heard it, because I guess at the same time I was in the shower and I was just like very underwhelmed with the songs that I heard in the order that I heard them, which I did listen to the songs in the order that they play, because when you listen to something for the first time, you need to make sure you're listening to it in the artist's order. And that's why I'm just like, that's so important, and it was really a letdown seeing the order of these songs. So yeah, Freaky Girls, it really didn't grow on me until maybe the 3rd or 4th listen. I was like, okay, it's a good song, but it just, maybe it's just because of how I heard it in the order on the album. I was just like, eh. So the 8th song we both have in the same order, and that is Body Yada 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 Yada. Honestly, I'm kind of glad I heard Body before the album, because I'm not sure if I really would have liked it as much hearing it on the album alone. So, you know, it grew on me as well, but it didn't take long for that song to grow on me. I already knew, like, okay, that's why they released it. You know, they got to make it a bop. You know, all the bops get played on the radio, in the clubs if they open. I hope y'all not at the clubs still, but, you know, that's y'all business, I guess. So I think Body was in a good position. I'm glad it wasn't put kind of first, because then it's just like, okay, girl, you really just trying to push these little singles out. You know what I'm saying? I like the song. I like the video. Definitely was serving Body Yada Yada. And honestly, I just love Megan's videos as a whole. They're getting better and better, and I'm loving it. Category is Body. Next on the Good News album, we have number 9, which is What's New. And on my number 9, I decided to put Shots Fired there. Now this is where it gets a little bit juicy. So y'all already know what I said about What's New, so it's really no need to backtrack on that. The reason why I put Shots Fired at number 9 is because when you listen to all these songs, it's like, okay, cool, you know, she doing her thing, she talking her shit, she ain't worried about a nigga. But then when you hear that Shots Fired, it's like, whoa, oh my God, I did not know this was coming. You know what I'm saying? Like, it could have been more of a surprise, not just a, okay, let me just say what I gotta say starting out this album. Like, no, sis. I don't know, maybe it's just me, but it's like the first song on the album kind of like, it's really like the first impression. Like, the first song you hear is really gonna set your mind for what to listen for throughout the whole album, you know? Shots Fired definitely could have went a little lower in the album than it was. Definitely shouldn't have been a number 1, but you know, what are you gonna do? Number 10 on the Good News album, we have Work That, and on my order, we have Savage Remix. Now, Work That, I really do like that song. I just don't think it should have gone that soon. Again, like I said, I really just think people's first impression was kind of just knocked off a little bit because of the sequence. So listening to Body, then What's New, then Work That is just like, it don't really flow. Honestly, none of these songs really flowed for me on the album. So that's why I'm making my own list and explaining why. Okay, so number 10 in my order is Savage Remix, simply because you mean to tell me you listen to all these bops in my order, get to Shots Fired, surprise like shit, then she clap back again after it's over with a fucking feature from Beyonce? You mean to tell me y'all didn't think that? Who is in management at Roc Nation? Like, whoever put songs in the order on the album, if it's not the artist, please give me their job. I'm just saying, cause like, my thought process really is just like, damn, that really would have flowed a lot better. Like, you mean to tell me, and then having Body come before Shots Fired, knowing that's your single, I'll tell you one thing, the album would have definitely got a lot more stars on certain songs than it did, had the order been what I'm saying. So, yeah, it just would have been the ultimate clapback. Say what you had to say for 9 songs. Just unexpectedly, just like, okay, let me just put this album out. Let me drop these songs, because they not gonna expect it. They not even gonna think I'm gonna acknowledge this nigga. I done said what I said, but let me go ahead and drop this Shots Fired after my single. Then clap back with a fucking Beyonce remix. Like, sis, that was the belt right there. If the order was in this order, that would have been the belt. And then that's not even it. That's just the middle of the album. So you already would have had mostly everybody sold by the time you got to the middle of the album, versus just like starting off like, fuck y'all, fuck that nigga, fuck that bitch. Like, so many things could have been changed. But anyway, moving on. Number 11 on the Good News album, we have Intercourse featuring Popcorn and Mustard. My number 11 was actually Circles. And tagging along to what I just said with having Body, and then Shots Fired, and then Savage Remix. Okay, cool. I got that. Got the Beyonce feature. Now I got a Jasmine sample after Beyonce? Come on now. Are y'all picking up what I'm putting down? Next, for number 12 on the Good News album, we have Go Crazy featuring Big Sean and 2 Chainz. My number 12 was Intercourse, so it kind of flipped around a little bit. Her Intercourse was still at the end of the album, but I just think it would have flowed a lot better, because Circles, which is before Intercourse on my order, it's a singing gem and bop. And then we have Intercourse, which is another singing type of song. So, you know, it was kind of sporadically placed on her album, versus me, it's like more thought out. Like, okay, that would sound better coming out of that song, you know what I'm saying? And again, like I said, Go Crazy definitely should have been up there. Like, I'm about to go crazy. All right, y'all, we winding down. There's still a few more songs. It's actually like 5. So yeah, next we have number 13, and on the Good News album, we have Don't Rock Me to Sleep, and my 13 would have been Work That. So honestly, if y'all have heard the album, y'all, I'm sure, have heard Don't Rock Me to Sleep. Maybe you've seen more reactions to the album, I'm not sure. But that song is number 13. There is 17 songs on this album, if I did forget to mention, which I think I did. But anyway, Don't Rock Me to Sleep is kind of like a closing song. It basically is a closing song. I ain't even gonna lie, it's a closing song. Now, as for Work That, my reasoning for putting Work That so far down, I really think it could have gone higher. She has it number 10 on her album, but I would have put it at number 13. Which is only a few songs difference, but the reasoning is because the way that I ordered the songs, it just flowed a lot better. And you know, after we get that bulk of fire that I mentioned, you got the feature, then you got another slow song, and then it's like, okay, let me pick it back up. I wanna see you work that, twerk that, stir that, and ride it like a rodeo. Like, it just picks the album right back up, and it's like, oh, we not finished yet, sis. We got a whole nother 4 songs to go through. Just so it's not, you know, boring the audience, I guess, because when you put 2 slower songs together, especially something coming from Megan, she's not really like a slow song type of person. She has done R&B, but she's not really an R&B artist. So, you know, with the 2 R&B type of songs, it's kind of like, okay, let's pick it back up to some shit that we used to. So honestly, having Don't Rock Me to Sleep at number 13, it was just like, well, the album not over. Like, you trying to make us go home already? Like, we still want to see more. But I understand the reason why she did that, because she has Don't Rock Me to Sleep, she has another closing song, and then she has her 3 singles. Song number 14 on the Good News album is Outside, and my number 14 would have been Crybaby. So number 14, she has Outside, and I really do love that song as like the closing album song. However, it doesn't really close the album because the singles are after it. So where number 14 is on her album, my 14 would be Crybaby. Now, as I mentioned earlier, I wasn't too much of a fan of Crybaby. Honestly, like, it's a cute song, and y'all know it's going crazy on TikTok and the challenges and all this shit now. But I still didn't and don't think it was worthy enough being number 3. I'm sorry. So yeah. Song number 15 on Good News is Savage Remix featuring Beyonce. My number 15 is Movie featuring Lil Durk. Like I mentioned earlier, wasn't too much of a fan of Movie. That's probably my least favorite song on the album, so it's gonna go at the end for me. And honestly, I think it's still like a turn up type of song, but still it's like closing the album, if that makes sense, along with Crybaby. But the reason why I put Crybaby last too is because we got Work That, Crybaby, and Movie. It's like, okay, we turning back up from the slow songs, but the album's still about to end, if that makes sense. I don't know. I just think those songs fit better at the end, but it is what it is. Number 16 on the Good News album is Girls in the Hood, and my number 16 would have been Don't Rock Me to Sleep. So y'all already heard what I said at the beginning of the video about Girls in the Hood. Could have been the first or second song and released as a single after the album dropped, and another song probably could have replaced that one. We're not gonna talk about it. It's above me now. Like I mentioned earlier when I was talking about Don't Rock Me to Sleep, it's definitely a closing song, so it would have fit a lot better literally closing out the album. And for the last song, number 17 on Good News, we have Don't Stop featuring Young Thug. And my last song, number 17, would be Outside. So as I kind of mentioned, some things already were talked about because some songs obviously that I put in my order came earlier in Megan's order. But, you know, still the same response. Don't Rock Me to Sleep and Outside should have been the last closing songs. They fit that way. And I'm just gonna say it was very, very, very disrespectful to put all the singles at the end. Like, I get it. Some artists do that. But for this album, the singles should have not gone last. I don't know what the code is when people release albums that they singles have to be at the end, but we need to change that code if it's like a law or something. I don't care who does this, but for this album specifically, the singles should have been mixed in with the album, and that's just on period. So just so anyone isn't confused between all of my back and forth flip-flopping and talking about one song, talking about the other song, I'm going to quickly read off the Good News songs in its sequence, and I'm going to read off my order of Good News. I will also leave the track list of the Good News album down below in the description box, as well as my order. So if you guys do want to listen to it in my order to really see if y'all really fuck with the album, I definitely will leave it down there so you guys can go check it out. So on the Good News album, we have Shots Fired, Circles, Crybaby featuring DaBaby, Do It on the Tip featuring City Girls, Sugar Baby, Movie featuring Lil Durk, Freaky Girls featuring SZA, Body, What's New, Work That, Intercourse featuring Popcorn and DJ Mustard, Go Crazy featuring Big Sean and 2 Chainz, Don't Rock Me to Sleep, Outside, Savage Remix featuring Beyonce, Girls in the Hood, and Don't Stop featuring Young Thug. Now that's Megan Thee Stallion's order. My order, we have What's New, Girls in the Hood, Go Crazy featuring Big Sean and 2 Chainz, Do It on the Tip featuring City Girls, Sugar Baby, Don't Stop featuring Young Thug, Freaky Girls featuring SZA, Body, Shots Fired, Savage Remix featuring Beyonce, Circles, Intercourse featuring Popcorn and Mustard, Work That, Crybaby featuring The Baby, Movie featuring Lil Durk, Don't Rock Me to Sleep, and Outside. Now, I ain't trying to toot my own horn or nothing, but my order slaps way harder than the album order. And honestly, y'all, that's why I think a lot of people are kind of like on the fence about if they really like the album or not because of the sequence. And honestly, I really hope from here on out, artists really do consider that when releasing projects. Like, the sequence really does matter, and when someone's listening to something for the first time, you want to make sure that it flows. But it is what it is. I can't change that. The only thing that I can change is how I listen to it on my phone, which is from my own playlist. So, but it still don't stop me from being a hottie, because guess what? A bitch still copped the CD. Oh, yeah. She didn't sign it because I ordered it before I knew that she was going to be signing them. So I got the ones that wasn't signed. But it's okay. Megan, if you see this, you know, and you don't hate me for saying what I say, sign my album or something. Send me something with a signature. Needless to say, Good News is still a great album. If y'all don't think it's a bop, listen to it in my order, then tell me what you think. I just hope her next projects are well thought out and it's not just like thrown together, because that's really the vibe I get from the Good News album, is that it was just thrown together. Like, it wasn't thought out, it wasn't strategically planned, it just was like, here y'all go, always asking for shit. And I can't get with that, because if you look at Megan's old mixtapes and projects, whatever you want to call them, fire. I don't have a problem with none of her stuff she put out. And that's very disappointing, because this is her debut album. But it is what it is. You know, she's still selling. She's breaking records. You know, I'm proud of her still. She's still one of my favorite rappers. She's still a great artist. She's a dope rapper. All of her songs speak for that. Like, she's really good at what she does. But anyway, y'all, I really hope you guys did enjoy this video, enjoyed what I had to say about the album. Hopefully you like my order when you listen to it, if you really thought that the album was a flop as a whole. I didn't think it was a flop. I just think the sequence had a lot to do with how people really thought the album sounded. And if I was a first-time listener, honestly, I probably would have said it was a flop too, simply because it just did not flow. But since I am an OG hottie, you know, I've been knowing what she can do. So I was able to look past the sequence and be like, okay, these is really some bangers, but I'm not gonna not listen to it. So when I wanna hear it, I wanna hear it how I wanna listen to it. And how I wanna listen to it is the order that y'all heard today. So yeah, if y'all like my order, go ahead and give me a thumbs up. Leave a comment below what y'all think. If y'all have listened to it in my order after this video, come back and let me know what y'all think. Follow me on Instagram, follow me on all my socials. Lastly, don't forget to subscribe to my channel, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye!